everybody and welcome back to the Blossom Crochet channel. If this is your first time visiting, then my name is Rebecca, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create this beautiful Harlequin stitch. So it's a 4-row repeat, but don't let that put you off. It is a really simple 4-row repeat once you get going, and it does become quite mindless. So if this is your first time visiting the channel, then make sure that you take a moment now to subscribe and also click that little bell icon so that you will get notified of all of my new videos. So yeah, this one is the Harlequin stitch, and I'm going to be using 2 colours and carrying my yarn up the side. So for this I'm literally just using some plain white Scheepjes Colour Crafter and some Stylecraft Tweedy DK. So because it's DK yarn, I'm going to be using the recommended 4mm hook. And for this one you want to chain your foundation chain in multiples of 8. So yarn over, pull through, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So if you complete your foundation chain in multiples of 8 and then add 1 additional chain at the end. Okay, so I completed my chain and I have done my additional 1 chain on the end. So we're going to work back across now. I'm keeping with this white, and at the end of the foundation row, that is when I will change to my other yarn. So into the 5th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So into that 5th chain, you're going to put 3 treble crochets. So remember, I'm using UK terms here. Elsewhere this will be your double crochet. So we're going to do 3 of those. So yarn over, insert into that 5th chain, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1. You want 2 more. So yarn over, back in that same chain, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. 1 more now. Yarn over into that chain, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1, and then again you're going back into that chain that you've just been working into and doing 3 more UK trebles. So 1, 2 and 3. You're then going to skip 3 chains along the bottom. So you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and into this next one along you're going to put a double crochet. So a UK double, US single. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through both of those loops. Again, you're going to skip 3 chains, and into that 4th one along you're going to do your 3 trebles, chain 1, 3 trebles. So it's 1 treble, 2, 3, chain 1, and then 3 more back in that same chain. 3, again skip 3 chains, so 1, 2, 3, and UK double into the next one along. So yarn over and pull through both of those loops. So that is what you should start off with, and you're just going to repeat that all the way along your foundation chain. So you'll skip 3, 2, 3, and then your 3 trebles, chain 1, 3 trebles, skip 3 and double. So if you repeat that all the way along your foundation chain, and I will meet you back at the end of that in just a second. So when you finish you should complete your, it's almost like a shell stitch, and then have 4 chains left, and into that 4th and final chain you will finish on your double crochet. But I'm going to be changing colours here, so I'm going to yarn over and pull up, and I'm going to stop there and bring in my colour. So I'm going to make a loop with my new colour and just pull that through. I'm going to do chain 1 just to tighten, and even though I'm not snipping off my white yarn, I am just going to tie those together. I'm actually going to tie it to the tail from my starting chain rather than the working end that I've got still. Okay, so that's my new colour secure. Like I say, I'm not snipping off this white because I'm going to be doing 2 rows, so I'll be able to pick up this white again when I get back to this side. So you want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn around. So we're going to be working into the tops of these trebles from the previous row. So you've got 3 trebles straight away here, so 1, 2 and 3, and we're going to be doing treble crochet 3 together. So you're going to ignore the base of the stitch where we've just come up and go straight into these trebles. So yarn over, insert into that first treble, going through the whole of the stitch, making sure to catch that V, yarn over and pull up, and you'll have those 3 loops as normal. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 and stop. Yarn over, go into the top of the next treble, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2 and stop, and then again into that final 3rd treble, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2 and stop, and then you should have 4 loops on your hook, and you'll yarn over and pull through all of those loops. So you then want to chain 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to skip across the chain 1 space, and then you're going to be going down and back up again all in one stitch. So you're going to work treble crochet 6 together this time. So we're going to be working into the tops of these 3 trebles, and then the tops of these 3 trebles going back up. You're going to totally ignore the top of that double crochet from the last row. So you'll start straight after your chain 1 space into that very first treble. So yarn over into that first treble, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2 and stop, yarn over into the next treble, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, into that 3rd treble, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, you're going to skip the top of that double and work straight into the top of the next 3 trebles. So yarn over, insert, yarn over and pull up, yarn over and pull through 2, into the next treble, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, and then into that final treble, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on your hook now, and you will yarn over now and pull through all of those loops. Chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then again skip your chain 1 space and work your next one into the top. So you're going to be working another treble crochet 6 together into the top of these 3 trebles, skipping the double crochet and these 3 trebles. So I'll show you this one more time. So skip the chain 1 space and work straight into the top of that next treble, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, into the next treble, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, to the next treble, yarn over, pull through 2, skip the double crochet, and then into the next 3 trebles, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, into that very last treble, and then again you'll have 7 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all of those loops and chain 7. Okay, so that is what you should be looking like at the moment, and you're going to continue that all the way along, and I will meet you at the end of this row in just a second. So we're right at the end of this row now. I've done my chain of 7 and we've got the chain 1 space which we're going to skip as normal, and you're going to work treble crochet 3 together in these 3 trebles. It's 1, 2, 3, and yarn over and pull through all of those loops, and then into that very final chain, you can see where we've got our turning chain here, you're just going to put 1 treble into that very last stitch. So you'll do your treble crochet 3 together and then 1 treble into that very last. Okie dokie, so that is how you should be looking at the end of that row. We're now going to move, so that is the first row of your pattern repeat. We're now going to move on to the next row of the repeat. So you want to chain 3 and then turn. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to turn. So we're going to be working back along now where we will meet our colour change, which is where we will pick up our white and work back along. So you won't be having to snip if you're just choosing to use 2 colours like I am. So this time we're going to be working straight into the base of the stitch where we've just come up from, so this stitch here, and we're going to be putting 3 regular trebles into that stitch. So that very first stitch where we've just come up. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to be working over the top of our chain 7 from the last row, and we're going to be tucking that away neatly so that it can't really be seen. And you're going to do that by working a double crochet, so a UK double, into this chain 1 space from that very first row that we did. So in my white row here, into that chain 1, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over and pull up. You'll have your 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2. So you'll have worked that over the top of that chain 7. Now we're going to be working our 3 trebles, chain 1, 3 trebles, and you're going to be doing that into the chain space that you get when you've done your yarn over and pull through all of those loops. So at the top of where all of those trebles are gathered together, you can see there is a little space just there that we're going to work into. So yarn over, insert into that stitch right at the middle and do 3 trebles. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then 3 trebles back into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. And then again you're ready to do your double crochet into that chain 1 space, working over that chain 7. So yarn over and pull through both loops, and there now you are starting to get the very first proper look at your Harlequin stitch. So again, your 3 trebles, chain 1, 3 trebles into the top of where all of those trebles come together. You can see there's a little hole just here, just there, that we're going to work those into. So 3 trebles, chain 1, and then 3 trebles back in that same space, and you'll repeat that all the way along. So your double crochet now into that chain 1 space, working over your 7 chains, and then your trebles again. So if you repeat that all the way along, and I will meet you as you get towards the end of your row. Okie dokie, so I'm at the end of my row. I've done my double over my chain 7, and then we finished the last row on a treble crochet 3 together. So just like when you find the center of the treble crochet 6 together, you want to find where you've pulled through all of those loops when you've done your treble 3 together, and you'll have a little space at the top of where all of those trebles are sitting, and that is where you want to put your final 3 trebles. Okay, so yarn over and work your 3 trebles. 1, 2 and 3, and then you've got that chain that you did at the start of the last round, and you're going to work 1 final treble into the top of that chain 3, but I'm going to be changing back to my white at this point, so I will yarn over, pull through 2, and then I will stop, and I'm going to pick up my white and then pull that white through those last 2. So you don't have to carry your yarn up the side if you don't want to, but if you're adding a border then it's ideal because you won't be able to see it at all. So you'll chain 3 and turn. So you're going to skip the base of the stitch where we've just come up from, and we're going straight down and up with our treble crochet 6 together this time. So you've got your 3 trebles here. We're going to ignore the double and then the 3 trebles going back up. So into that first treble, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, into your next treble, yarn over, pull through 2, and into your next treble, yarn over, pull through 2. Skip the double and work into your next 3 trebles, 2, and 3. And then again you'll still have your 7 loops, and you'll yarn over, pull through all of those loops and chain 7. And then again you'll skip your chain 1 space and then work down and up again, doing your treble crochet 6 together. One, 2, and then the 3 going back up, 2 and 3, and then again yarn over, pull through all 7 of those loops and chain 7. Okay, so you'll repeat that all the way across, and then I will meet you at the other end in just a tick. Okay, so I've just completed my treble crochet 6 together. I'm now going to chain 3, and then into the top of that chain 3 from the previous round I'm going to just put a UK double, so yarn over and pull through both. So that is how you should be looking at the end of that row. Okay, so we want to chain 1 and turn around again, and then we're going to work back along this row. So you're going to find the tops of where you've done your treble crochet 6 together and find that little gap at the top of those stitches just here. Oh, and just there. And you're going to start with your 3 trebles. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then obviously back in that same space your other 3 trebles. 1, oops, 2 and 3, and then again you're going to work a double crochet into the chain 1 of the other row, so working over the top of those chains, and into that chain 1 space you'll do your double crochet, and then again 3 trebles, chain 1, 3 trebles into this space at the top of those stitches. Sorry, the birds are very noisy today, as is the dog who keeps wandering around the kitchen licking her lips. So 3 trebles, chain 1, 3 trebles, okay, and then again your double crochet into that chain 1 space, and repeat that all the way along your row, and I will meet you as you get towards the other end in a moment, and we will finish off this row. Okay, so I've completed that all the way along, and then I've just done my final 3 trebles, and then I want to do a double crochet into that very final stitch at the end of this round. So if you remembered at the last round we started with a chain of 3, and you want to go into that very first chain that you made and do a double crochet, so yarn over and pull through both. So that is now how you should be looking. So those are your 4 rows. So now this is why I've only used 2 colours, so that it was easy for you to flick back to the beginning of the variegated yarn for rows 1 and 2, and then the white yarn for rows 3 and 4. So they are your repeats. So obviously I didn't do it then, but I will do it now. When you do that final double of this row, if you're changing colours again, you'll yarn over and pull up and stop, and grab your other colour and pull that through, and then you'll be ready to chain 3, turn, and then work that very first row that we did with the variegated yarn again. So hopefully you'll be able to use those 4 rows as your pattern repeat, and then I will meet you back to add the straight edge for finishing off your project in just a moment. So once you've completed as many rows as you want, I obviously started with my white and then changed, and that's because I like symmetry, that's what I'm going to do. So I've done my final rows in my variegated yarn, and then I'm going to straighten off using my white so that the top and bottom are the same. So I finished, as I say, with my variegated yarn, so that was at the end of a row 2. So I'm going to be working straight down and then back up. So I've chained 1 and turned, and into this very first stitch here I'm going to do a double crochet. So obviously UK terms again. Into the next I'm going to do a double. I've got 2 trebles left. I'm going to do a half treble into the next one, so yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and then a treble into the 3rd treble. I'm going to skip the double crochet, and then I'm going to work back up by doing a treble, a half treble, and then a double crochet into the chain 1 space, and then a double crochet into the first of those 3 trebles, and then a half treble, and then a treble in the 3rd, skip the double crochet from the last round, and then work back up by doing treble, half treble, double. You're going to pop a double into your chain 1 space and then work back down. So double, half treble, treble. Skip the double crochet, work back up, so treble, half treble, and double. And then again double in your chain 1 space and work back down with your double, half treble and treble, and you'll repeat that all the way across, and it will just give you a nice straight edge at the top of your work for you to start working your border rounds. So I'm working on my final side and my final stitches, so I will be finishing with my treble, half treble, double, and then 1 final double into the top of that chain from the last round. And you can see that's just straightened that off quite nicely, and then we'll be ready to add our border rows. So that is how you should be looking with your finished Harlequin stitch. I really hope that you have enjoyed the tutorial, and if you have, do remember to leave a thumbs up and also to subscribe and click the little bell icon to get all of my notifications for whenever I upload a new video. But I will see you again for another one very soon. Bye for now.